Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 9th. And for some reason, I got to thinking about money and richness and wealth and all of that. I don't know what the difference is between rich and wealthy. And so I decided to look at that and see if I could come up with an answer and figure out where I fell in the category. Because I'm well off, but I don't know if I'm rich or I'm wealthy. It's a confusing state, you know. And supposedly, there is a difference between being rich or being wealthy. The average person, expensive car, if you have a sprawling mansion. But if you take a look at Warren Buffett, he drives a decades-old car and lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $32,000. And in 1958, I wasn't even thinking about buying a house. So someone with a multi-million-dollar estate, might be rich, but he won't be wealthy. Whereas someone who is quite wealthy may not appear that way to others. The terms rich and wealthy are often used interchangeably, but they actually refer to very different populations. Average income in the U.S. right now is around 60 grand a year, but the top 1% earn a hell of a lot more than that, and that's according to the Economic Policy Institute. And you need to earn at least over $400,000 to be considered top 1%. But the average earnings of that group is a little over 1.3 million. So that signals how rich the rich group really is. However, although everyone in the 1% is rich by what we look at, but not everybody in that group is considered wealthy. How about that? So you're making over $1 million a year, but you're not wealthy. When someone is considered rich, that would qualify as somebody who has a larger income than their fixed expenses, allowing them to live an extravagant lifestyle. And that's what some managing partner in the high net worth adversary says. When someone is wealthy, their assets are substantially more than their liability, allowing the assets to generate large incomes to cover all of the fixed expenses plus. Now, there are various factors that influence wealth, and it's essential, very essential, to recognize these distinct differences. There are many ways to become rich. You can inherit the money, you can hit the lottery, or you have a high-paying job. But income sources aren't going to pay out in perpetuity. Eventually, the money runs out and you retire, depleting your resources. So true wealth is about sustainability. Whether you come from generational wealth or are completely self-made. Wealthy people tend to have investments and assets that continue to produce income for years or for generations. Now, what are these assets? If you're rich, you might buy liquid or depreciating assets. You might purchase a high-end sports car or designer clothing. You can afford expensive things, but these purchases produce no income and can lose value over time. On the other hand, wealthy people tend to think about the long term. Wealthy people make their financial decisions based based upon their set of values and goals. Wealthy people have done the work for their full life purpose and fulfillment, and they realize that not making decisions in line with their values can hurt them in the long run. So if they are focused on charitable giving or living their family or giving their family a legacy, wealthy people will be more likely to invest their money in real estate, stock markets, or other money-generating endeavors to achieve their goals. So rich people, meaning those with high incomes, often stretch their budgets to the max, purchasing expensive homes or vehicles or going on lavish vacation. And they often end up using loans or credit cards to finance their purchases. And they can definitely be burdened by that debt. However, wealthy people are more likely to prioritize paying off debt to maintain their financial security. And if they do use debt, it's usually leveraged to increase their earnings later. For example, a wealthy person may use debt to invest in real estate or a small business. So becoming rich is not a guarantee that a person will always have money. And that problem can affect how they handle their money. The rich enjoy the moment knowing that it might not last. The wealthy enjoy the moment knowing that as long as they do not touch their major assets, it will last generationally. So when we look at this, being rich can be fleeting. Wealthy people tend to think about the long term. They may focus on how to preserve wealth for generations to come. So their spending and investing habits often reflect those goals. So you may be rich and you may be happy, but that doesn't mean you're going to pass that on to the next generation. To be rich and to be happy and to be wealthy is what you should strive for. Spending in the moment is not necessarily the way to go out in a blaze of glory. So I'll leave you with that. The rich have money and they're spending it. The wealthy have money and they think about the longer term. They invest wisely, hopefully wisely, but they are not spending all their money as fast as they make it. So no matter what category you fall into, I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Take care. Bye. Bye.